that you still on? No. Okay, you still on. Okay. Thank you all of you for participating in answer. Now we're going to go to again, and we're going to have a talk. Brother Rambo will do that. Brother Tim Rambo. It's a theme. Did Joseph use a special silver cow to read omens, as a Genesis 44:5 and 15 seem to indicate it? So, Brother Tim Rambo, please.
On the question of whether Joseph used a special silver cup to read omens, Pharaoh himself gives us the answer at Genesis 41:39. However, we might ask, how would a pagan God worshiper know the answer to this question? Well, it's because Joseph taught him the answer. He was a Bible student to Joseph, and Joseph taught him. How so? Well, 4 times before, Joseph had given Pharaoh the answer. Let's look at those 4 occasions. First one is at Genesis 41:16. At Genesis 41:16, Joseph said to Pharaoh, I need not be considered, God will speak. Next we move, number 2, Genesis 41:25. There Joseph said to Pharaoh, the dreams of Pharaoh are one and the same. The true God has told to Pharaoh what he will do. Third time, Genesis 41:28. Joseph says, this is just as I told to Pharaoh. The true God has caused Pharaoh to see what he will do. And finally, the 4th occasion, 41 verse 32. The dream was given twice to Pharaoh because the matter has been firmly established by the true God, and the true God will soon carry it out. 4 times Joseph taught Pharaoh. He didn't have a Bible, but he taught Pharaoh where interpretation of dreams came from. And did you notice the first time Joseph said, God will speak, in verse 16. But then the next 3 times he said, the true God. So he helped Pharaoh to understand not just God, but the true God, distinguishing him from Horus, Osiris, Ra, and all the other gods that Pharaoh might have been familiar with. It's a very beautiful picture in the Insight Volume 2. If you take a look on page 529, it has a picture of some of the different gods that the Egyptians worshipped. But Pharaoh was taught that the true God was the one that answered dreams. Now, the second part. Well, then why is it that Genesis 44:5 and 15 talks about a silver cup? Where did that come from? Well, if we turn to Genesis chapter 42 and verses 6 through 9, we see that Joseph accused his brothers of being spies. Why would he do that? He knew they weren't spies. It was so he could demand that they bring Benjamin. Well, he learned about Benjamin from them, or more importantly, he could test their love for his brother and his father, who they had obviously not loved in the past when they sold Joseph into slavery. Joseph listens to their conversation in verse 23 of 42. You see, they're talking, but he says they did not know Joseph understood, for there was an interpreter between them. So Joseph used a ruse to see what their motives were, what their heart condition was. And finally, he got the answer to his question, had his brothers changed or not, if you turn to chapter 44, verses 32 through 34. And there we see they had changed. Judah proved it in his final speech there. He says, how can I return to my father without the boy along with me? I could not bear looking on when this calamity befalls my father. So they had changed. Joseph saw a difference. Joseph simply used the silver cup as a way to determine what their heart condition was. He didn't have any dreams being done with the silver cup. He might have had his favorite cup, just like we might have a favorite coffee cup. But he did not use it to interpret dreams. As he taught Pharaoh, dreams come from Jehovah.
Brother Rambo, you're working to study 18, informative to your audience. So the question is that did Joseph actually use a cup to read omens? So the silver cup